We remain in the world of exploration with an exceptional adventurer, Ernest Shackleton, and his incredible journey to the South Pole in 1914 with his ship, the Endurance, in which he was held prisoner by the ice. Thanks to Australian Frank Hurley's images that are nearly 100 years old, we can witness this amazing drama.
It wasn't Ernest Shackleton's first attempt at conquering the South Pole. Between 1901 and 1904, he participated in the Discovery Expedition, in which the renowned explorer Scott died. August 8, 1914, the sails were hoisted on the Endurance's 3 masts. She set off for the Weddell Sea, south of the Falklands Islands. On board were 32 crew members headed by Shackleton, as well as the great pioneer in adventure films, the Australian Frank Hurley. He held the camera, and thanks to him, we have these images more than 90 years later. This time, Shackleton wants to establish a rendezvous between 2 expeditions that come from opposite sides of the Antarctic. Shackleton makes a mistake. Wanting to establish his base as close as possible to the pole, he doesn't realize that day after day, the ice fields close tighter and tighter around the Endurance's hull. It's hopeless. The ice, seemingly made furious by the daring attempt, refuses to release its prey. Shackleton's not the kind of man to feel sorry for himself. Life quickly gets set up around the ghost ship. With occasional relaxing moments, sometimes up against minus 70 degrees centigrade temperatures, they wait for spring to come. The wait for the thaw lasts 8 months. All hope is in vain. The pack ice, instead of releasing its grip, crushes the Endurance. This doesn't happen in just one day. So the crew has time to evacuate the necessary supplies, the tents, the sled dogs. Shackleton will later describe his feelings seeing the Endurance slowly sinking into her grave under the ice that carried her. It seemed the moment of separation had finally come. All our times together, our happy memories of life aboard this ship sunk with her. Frank Hurley continued to film, despite the risk he ran of being carried away by the ice. Soon he would be forced to abandon his movie camera, a bit of himself, as all the crew could take were the bare necessities needed for the long journey that awaited them. Frank Hurley was only able to keep a small still camera, his eyes never straying, as if hypnotized by the Endurance's slow agony. In April of 1916, the men of the Endurance arrived at Elephant Island and set up camp. 2 upside-down boats served as a shelter. A third was used by Shackleton and 5 crew members who set out for South Georgia, an inhabited island to the north. After a 1,300-kilometer crossing through freezing, turbulent waters, they still had to cross a part of the island to reach a seaport to send for help. Finally, in August of 1916, the remaining crew members are rescued from Elephant Island. In an ironic turn of events, Sir Ernest Shackleton would die 6 years later in South Georgia, during a trip back to visit the whale hunters who had saved his life a few years earlier. The success of Frank Hurley's film would allow Shackleton to reimburse the debts he owed and make him world-renowned.
To escape from the rat trap of everyday life, follow us for the next episode of Adventure, where unique adventures and daring explorers wait to sweep you away to the far corners of the Earth.